Destry, your local wizard, here to give you your weekly forecast. Now, at the beginning of the video, you saw 5 decks, 1 through 5. I hope you used your intuition to pick which one was best for you. Now, if you like what you hear at the end of your reading, please subscribe to my channel. That would be much appreciated. And if you want a more detailed reading on yourself, you can always email me at tarottothecore@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on my Instagram, tarottothecore, and DM me there, and I will answer you back, and we will have a consultation. Just leave how I get a hold of you, or I email you back. All right, everybody, let's start our readings. Find out what your week is going to go like. See, I do this just to give you your forecast, so you can see what your energy is going to be like during the week, and maybe how you can help yourself or get out of the sticky situations that we might get ourselves into through illusions or through our head. We don't ever want to get stuck there. So right now we're going to start off with group 1. I'm going to shuffle the deck here to get all the energies inside. I like finding out what weeks are going to go like. Also, if you're wondering, on my Instagram page, I give you your card of the day and your rune of the day, so you can also check that out. These cards don't want to shuffle that well today. All right, group 1. Let's see how your week is gonna start out. Start out with the Lust card. So when we start out with the Lust card, what I'm hearing here is that we're gonna start out kind of strong. I think I've told you before, this is also the Strength card in other decks. This deck describes it a little differently. There's a little 2 sides to this. So you have 2 directions you can go here on your week. You can use your strength for yourself and not really help other people out. You can be loving and in lust with your work and really grab on to what you want to be and how you want your week to go. And you can manifest your own week and manifest everything created throughout it. Now, we all have the power to manifest what we want, but we got to watch out, because if we go to the wrong side and the negative energies, they tend to manifest just a little bit faster. So next, we get the Devil card. So going on through this week, this being a generalized reading, what I'm hearing here is you're kind of going the wrong direction this week. A lot of interference here. There's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of things going wrong. I'm kind of hearing you're your own devil. So you're manifesting, you're sitting in fears, you're sitting in everything, and you're I've been hearing a lot this week through other readings that fear is a big thing, and we can't sit in that fear. I mean, we literally do become our own devil when we do that. So we gotta step out of fear and keep going and keep trying to go in a better direction, get into better vibrations and everything. So your next card is the Princess of Wands. So just like I said here, the Princess of Wands, getting this card, you are holding yourself back with your fears, and with evil and everything, and all these negative and dark energies are really trying to latch onto you. We really need to find a way to get out of that and release them, or else you're just going to manifest this fear so bad that it's going to create something that you don't want. And we never want to sit in fear for too long. It can leak out into everyone we're around and everything. They start feeling the same energy, the fear, the anxiety. They start feeling attacked or whatever it may be. So then we come to the Pleasure card. So sitting in fear with everything and kind of the devil, this fear is also, it's interfering with your pleasure. It's interfering probably with your partner and everything, because you guys are connected so energetically. So we want to step out of that and really try to embrace our pleasure in a good manner, and not use fear to, I mean, some of us sit in fear and we find comfort in fear or negative energies, because that's what we're used to. So what I'm hearing here is we want to step out of that and really go another direction. I know going another direction, trying to manifest all these good things, success, sometimes it's uncomfortable because we're not used to it. We don't think we deserve it. We're our own devil. We really create our own worst realities. And then we get the luxury. So if you step out of this fear and recreate your own reality this week, see, group one, you're really about trying to manifest in two different directions. So we want to go the good way, manifest good vibrations, good energy, try to rewire the way our brain actually works and everything. And we can sit in that pleasure and luxury, but sometimes it can get negative pleasure, negative luxury. What I'm hearing is we can become selfish, which we don't want to do. We really want to embrace helping everybody else, really put out love and everything, and not go towards the side of the devil, our evil side. It's really sitting in that fear and that darkness that maybe we've been so used to for so long. So we are made of light. We are powerful. Let's really try to go the other direction and really ascend. Thank you, group one. I love you. I hope this helped. I would really love to give a more detailed reading on whoever chose group one. That's a really difficult generalized reading. I would really like to help you out and really dig deeper into that. So let's move on to group two for your weekly forecast. Let's see how you're going here. Group two, your deck wants to shuffle way better than group one. All right. Group two, one more time. All right, let's see how your week starts out. We get the 10 of Wands here for you, group two. Oppression. Now we might be feeling, let's see what I'm hearing here. Might be feeling oppressed in our lives. We feel like somebody else is holding us back, but usually in the light of oppression, it's us who are holding ourselves back, and we're not really seeing it for what it truly is. We may think everybody else is holding us back. Oh, it's their fault. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. But really, the oppression is in our own heads. We won't allow ourselves to see the truth that it really is and move forward and get ourselves out of that, because we're all powerful enough to get ourselves out of any oppression that we are feeling. Then we get the Prince of Wands. Great card. I feel like that card resembles me. I always love when it pops up. It's a very powerful card. So this is just showing that oppression that you're feeling in. Could be a job or a relationship. You're feeling oppressed, but maybe you're just oppressing yourself, and you have the power to break through it. Break through all the illusions. Break through with power and really show the world who you are. And it will really make everything around you just kind of switch and turn around and be way better. So then we come to the Tower card. Sometimes I feel like the Tower card gets kind of a bad rap. So since we're breaking through and trying to break out of the oppression, you might be going through a big breakthrough. Old ways of life are really about to tear down, especially with the Prince of Wands coming before it. I see a really big shift here for you this week. I see a lot of big shifts for people recently. There's a big shift coming. Yours is about to happen, might happen this week. As long as you play along with the way it's supposed to go, you will feel this breakthrough and you will start the shift. Then we get the Princess of Discs. So with the Princess of Discs coming after the Tower card, I really see you are going to become like this new person. You've started to figure it out. Grab yourself out of that oppression and that deep held back feeling that you've probably created in yourself. We are our own worst enemies, especially up in here. We want to break out of that. The Princess of Discs shows us a new light, new power, kind of like a new childlike sight into it. Then we get the Nine of Discs, which through all this, we're really starting to figure out that breakthrough that we get through that Tower card, the old way of life burning down around us, can be really uncomfortable. But that new childlike feeling may feel uncomfortable at first, but you'll eventually start to feel great and you'll gain so much from it. A lot of gain coming for you at the end of the week. For you, brighter. Could be money. This card means money a lot of the time. So if it is like feeling oppressed in like the business and everything, and you break through and you find your own path or promotion or whatever, you find your own path and you like, what I'm hearing is you kind of find your way where you're supposed to go eventually, because you felt oppressed in the beginning, because you felt stuck on where you were at. Finally, you figured it out, breakthrough, and great things come. New childlike experiences, it's all new, it's all great. It's kind of like you're like a newborn in a way, feeling really great about what is happening. So I'm really excited about your week. If you like what you heard, please leave a comment at the bottom. Let me know how your week went and if this was accurate. Love you, group 2. You guys have a fantastic week. Looks great. I'm excited. I love when people have breakthroughs and actually find their way in life. All right, group 3. Let's figure this out. 3 is a very powerful number. I love the number 3. I feel like everything powerful in life happens in 3s. Shuffle you a couple more times. All right, group 3. Let's see how your week turns out. You get the Queen of Discs. So, group 3, what I'm hearing here is that you finally came to a spot. You're kind of like in a area where you're looking behind you. You can relax now. You're finally in this new space in life, really starting to figure things out. It's really good. You can look behind you and just see a lot of the pain is gone, and you're entering a new phase of life, probably more where you want to be at and everything. And moving on, we get the Death card. So when we finally make it to this point and we're looking back and we're finally through so much, we're finally through it, and we can't believe that we actually got there, then comes the Death card. So the Death card, it's not a negative card, it's a really good card. It's like a rebirth. Since we got to this new spot, a new way of life is now forming around us this week. So it's like a transformation, an ascension in a way, and it's really great. You're tearing away the old skin finally, because you got to that spot where you can look behind you and nothing else is bothering you from that past, and now you can finally break away the old skin and start on to a new path that you've been waiting for a long, long time. So then we get the Emperor. So moving on, we shed away our skin, and we kind of just, with the Emperor, we see our new power, this new power that we've come into, being our own Emperor, being powerful. It just shows the new person that we have become, and other people can see it too, which is a very powerful thing. Our energy is starting to vibrate in a different way, and everybody's seeing it, and everybody's proud of us, and maybe some people are really looking up to us. maybe even looking up to you as like a father figure or a mother figure or something along those lines, someone, a leader. That's what I'm hearing, more like a leader, and you finally got to that spot, shed away the old skin of the follower, and now you are the leader. And now we get the Ace of Discs. So now you become this leader that everybody's looking up to. You're very powerful. You've shed that old skin. You really became into your own. And we see the Ace of Discs come up, which is a high completion card. I'm seeing this kind of leadership quality, or this is where you've been looking to go, where you wanted to be. Could be a lot of money in your future from this card, but everything is kind of complete and people are looking up to you, and you are on this great path to being actually yourself. Now I see Seven of Swords futility coming up. I was already hearing this before I pulled it. So when we get into this spot, we don't want old fears to pop up. This is a warning for you. So group 3, I really ask you to hear this warning. Do not let old fears of this success, becoming this new person, you're not worth it. Nobody really looks up to me. There's so much. Just think of every one of these swords, of all those old fears attacking the center one, which is you. So really break out of fear. We don't want those old fears to come back, because we will manifest it and tear this down and go right back to where we were. So we want to keep going forward and realize these fears and knock them down as soon as they start to come up and take them away, because you're really a strong person and now you're at where you want to be. But these fears can always lead us back to a timeline or wherever, to where we don't want to be. So let's stay over here looking in the path. Rebirth, power of the Emperor, and completion and gaining everything we want, and be more powerful than our own fears. See, fear can mean so many things. We can either say fuck everything and run, or face everything and rise. So I like to face everything and rise. That is the best way to do it. If we fuck everything and run, we'll just end up where we're not supposed to be and kind of have to start back all over again and continue this process over and over and over again. All right, thank you, group 3. Love you guys. If you like what you heard, please subscribe. All right, and now we'll just move on over here to group 4. I'll shuffle you up here, group 4. All right, group 4, let's see how your week is going to start out. The Prince of Swords. Now, group 4, we get the Prince of Swords, and now we feel organized. We're cutting away the old. If you see it, we got all these little guys at the bottom. So with the sword, we're cutting away people, old ideas that do not longer fit, that no longer fit us anymore. And we're getting organized, we're getting on the attack, and we are in control here, which I feel, group 4, you like to be in control. So this is a good place to be for you, but don't get out of control with being in control. Because being in control too much and having too much control can really be bad in situations you don't really need to control, if you understand what I mean. And then we get the Hermit. So since we're cutting away all these people that were not good for us, and we're really starting to see who we're having this an enlightenment, an epiphany with the Hermit here, I'm hearing. So this epiphany is actually leading us and really starting to figure out what direction we're supposed to go and where we want to be. And you're just like, oh shit, you know, like this is what I'm supposed to do. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is how I get there. And you just really sat with yourself and figured it out, which is important. I mean, not always, we can't always have someone else tell us where we need to be, where we need to go. Sometimes it's always up here. We just have to really sit there and listen to our higher self or to our guides and learn from life lessons over and over again, because we are human in this 3D form. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to sink in and remember the things that happen. So group 4 is starting to remember, gaining that light back that we want, and really sitting with yourself and figuring this out. I love it. And then we get the 8 of discs, prudence. So through all this, I mean, this just shows for you, group 4, that this week is a really big growth for you. It's delicate though. It's delicate, so we don't want to interrupt it. I heard that you like to be in control. So with the delicate growth of prudence here, we want to let it grow on its own. We want to let it flow. We don't want to interrupt this, because we are following our path, our mission here, but we don't want to interrupt it with the force of control that we need to have. We feel like we can control everything around us. So, because you had the Hermit and you really started to figure out where you are, and now it's time to let that idea grow. Let us grow at the same time and really get into the place we need to be at. Sometimes the growth can be a little slow and frustrating, but we just need to let it go, or else we can cut down those branches and totally go in a different direction. Then we get the Hangman. So during this slow growth you're feeling of your epiphany and your enlightenment and finally realizing where you're at, so you just might feel stuck for a minute, hanging there, not really knowing which direction to go. But like I said before, we got to let it grow slow, and we got to realize where we're at, our spiritual path, and everything like that. So don't get frustrated with the stagnancy of it. That's just all in your head. It's really just a slow growth, delicacy. Really let that sink in, that everything will happen when it's supposed to, and let the growth happen. And then you get the Empress. So after feeling stagnant and this growth can feel a little slow, you'll start to feel yourself come out of it and really growing to who you are, to your path that you followed. You cut away everybody. Now the Empress shows herself with her motherly love, and you're really just starting to get where you need to be. But remember, it is delicate. It does need to bloom and flower on its own. I hear that group 4, you need to let some of your control go, so that way you can end up on this side, because we don't want to go backwards. We can enter other timelines, other things from that. So release the control issues or whatever it is, and really sit with yourself, sit with your higher self, your spirit guides, and just listen to what everybody has to say. And thank you, group 4. Thank you for being here with me. You guys have a great week. See you next week on the weekly forecast, if this is your thing. Let's move on to group 5. Shuffle you up, group 5. All right. Group 5. Start off with the 9 of Swords, cruelty. So with this card showing up, the 9 of Swords in the beginning of the week, group 5, what I'm hearing is you're really being cruel to yourself, tearing yourself down all the time, sitting in fear, telling yourself that you're not good enough, which we know is not true. We know this for a fact. So we really got to get out of that. Being cruel, we can tear ourselves down more than anybody else every time. I mean, you can shut everybody out all the time, but I mean, when you get in your head and you're cruel to yourself, you really change your vibration and everything, and it leaks out to everybody else. So group 5, we want to start to shift that and really be nice to ourselves. Sit there with a practice of, telling us that we're good enough. We can do this. We're not a piece of shit. Shit like that, you know what I mean? Then we get the Lover's card. So, this coming after the Cruelty card, with the Lover's card, this can be involved. See what I'm hearing here. The love for yourself is really a problem, and it could be affecting the relationship or whatever. You're feeling you're not worthy of love. So not feeling worthy of love is really a problem here, because it affects you and your partner on a way higher vibrational level, from you being cruel to yourself, and you're not worthy of the love. This person's too nice to you. You don't deserve that, or whatever. But the Lover's card is a strong card, so you really do deserve this and where you're supposed to be. So then we get the Prince of Cups. Prince of Cups. So through this week, if you really figure out how to not be a negative with yourself and you're worthy of love and everything, you can become the Prince of Cups. Kind of flies over the sea of emotions, kind of learns how to control their emotions, starts to really figure it out, and it's a really focus on self here to really get you out of that, and to figure out that you're worthy of all this love that your partner gives you and everything. So we need to soar over it, really sit with ourselves and figure out why we think we don't deserve this, or why are we being this way? And only we can really figure this out. Maybe you can talk to your partner or whatever and really see what the affections are here. Then we get the Knight of Wands. So after we break out of that and have this conversation or whatever, really break out of our own cruelty, that we are worthy of love, we can become that powerful person that we used to be and really start to strive forward again, because we are worthy of love. We are love, not pretty much are love. We are love. So we have to remember we are worth all the love anybody wants to give us. So please sit in that, master the emotions and everything. And group, then we get the 10 of Discs, wealth. So with this coming up, sometimes this card means money, but here, really, when you become the master of emotions and you really become that powerful person that you know you can be, now you have a wealth of emotional knowledge. You come out on the other side of it and start to realize that you are a great person. You are this, you have this, you start getting this emotional wealth from everybody else, because you stop being cruel to yourself and people see that you're really being a better person and that you are trying. You and your partner will be happier. And with the wealth card, I always let you know, when you get all this wealth, you have to share it. So share the love, share who you truly are, talk about it, share it with everybody around you, share your love with your loved one, and you are worth it. You are a great person. All right, group 5, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here for your weekly forecast. I love you all. Stay woke and have a great week.